What's up, guys? My name is Parallel Zolo. I'm going to be showing you how to reduce your stuttering and gain a little extra FPS in your Fortnite endgames. So this is focused obviously on scrim and competitive players. Now, without any further ado, let's get into this. So this works on your cores. This is the process we're going to be doing. We're going to go to Task Manager. And this is just so you can see what I'm talking about. From here, we'll go to Performance. The graph that you'll see right away on the CPU will be this graph. It'll tell you your processor up here. I have the AMD Ryzen 5 2600 6-core processor, and it says I have 6 cores, and then I have 12 logical processors. So if we right-click, change the graph to logical processing. So we'll see that I have CPU 0 all the way to CPU 11. All right, so there's my 12 technically cores. Now, 6 of those cores are hyper-threaded or multi-threaded, depending on if you have Intel or AMD. So, every other core, so we go 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, and 6. So these are my actual cores. These ones right here, every other one, are my multi-threaded or hyper-threaded cores. Now, Fortnite normally will run on all these cores, and it will like produce an even amount of load on every single core. Well, sometimes this will cause stuttering, so what we want to do is we want to run Fortnite only on the 6 cores that are legit, not hyper-threaded. So this row and this row are my 6 cores that are not hyper-threaded. Now, in order to do that, we have a list that a Redditor made for us. I'll have his Reddit pop up on the screen for us. Big shout out to him for letting us do this. So if we go to this awesome document we have here. So smoother gameplay on multi-threaded CPUs. So you have to have a multi-threaded CPUs. So first off, all we're going to do is take this link that he gives us. We're going to copy it. We're going to put it into our new tab, but we're not going to go to it yet because we have to change something depending on your CPU. So this goes ahead and it tells you like physical core, and then just your hyper-threaded / multi-threaded core. So as I was saying with Task Manager, let me bring that up really fast one more time. So CPU 0... if it comes up here, you'll see it. CPU 0 is a physical core. That's what we want, okay? So the 1s and 0s represent enabled / disabled or on and off in binary. So from there, he has a list of CPUs that we can actually pull off with. So if you have any questions on what kind of CPU you have, drop it down in the comments, and I will do my best to put down the code that you need for this in the comments, okay? So I have the Ryzen 5 6-core with 12 threads. So I'm going to go ahead, copy this. Copy it, go back over to our new tab, and right after you see the %22, you'll see a bunch of 1s and 0s, and then you'll see another % sign. You want to delete that, and then paste your code in there. From there, we hit enter. It'll give us this prompt. Now, this is what we need in order to start our Fortnite up with this up. So we're going to go ahead, copy this only. Make sure your Fortnite game is closed, and your launcher is closed as well. Now we got to go into the game settings. So we go all the way to your game. So it should be program files. It should be Epic Games, Fortnite game, content. No, not content, excuse me. Binaries, Win64. And scroll down until you see Windows Client 64 shipping. Now this is the actual game. We're going to right click on this. And we are going to create a shortcut. Now the shortcut should pop up right here. We're going to drag that onto our desktop for now. And it went over to my other screen. So we'll pop that right there. There's our shortcut. We can go ahead and X out of there. We don't need that anymore. We're going to go ahead and right click on our shortcut. Go to properties. And you'll see this right here. This is our path of the game. We're going to go, or the target, and the path is right here. So what we're going to end up doing is we're going to replace this whole thing with the code that we just copied. So we replace that with this code that we got from this generated, you know what. Anyways, we're going to go ahead and apply this. And okay, this will change it into a command prompt. Now, from now on, we'll have to run the game through this. So we're going to go ahead and run the game. My Fortnite actually had the update, so I had to wait for this. Now we're going to go ahead, and once we created that shortcut, we're going to go ahead and just double-click the shortcut. It'll bring up a little prompt, and it will start up Fortnite, and we'll be back when Fortnite is up. Alright, so now that we have our Fortnite loaded up, we're going to go ahead and take a look at our CPU usage. As you can see, all of our physical cores are being used more than our hyper-threaded or multi-threaded cores, which is exactly what we're going for. Now I'm going to pull up real fast here the benchmarks that were tested on the CPU of the i7 6700 HQ with 16 gigabytes of RAM, and they had the GTX 970 3GB. So this is, your CPU is more or less likely to help with your stutter while increasing probably a little bit of your FPS. If you have a better graphics card, this will dramatically help your experience, and you'll get obviously a lot more FPS after doing this with the CPU. So if you're looking at the benchmarks results, with the number of threads, this guy tested with 3 threads, he was able to get, on the low side, 22.1, obviously 1% low was 46.9, and the average FPS with 3 threads only was 83.8 FPS. Now if we go on over to where my category would be, which is the 6 number of threads here, we'll get an average of 90 FPS in endgame circles. If I'm getting 90 FPS in endgame circles, and this was taken from a benchmark test in the Black Heart Cup in the semifinal end zone footage running in replay mode. I obviously am a clip hitter and hit trick shots, so I don't really do a lot of scrims, so I don't have a lot to benchmark and test you, but I can tell you this, the stuttering really did help when I'm jumping out of the battle bus or even in those little endgame circles. Make sure though, if you are a streamer, that you're making sure that you have your video output set, or your video encoder, excuse me, set to your GPU and not your CPU. So that is a problem. So if you are a CPU streamer like myself, just make sure you go over and you try to figure out how you can stream with your GPU. From there, yeah, these are all the different categories we got for the benchmarks. I'll have this, the file link to this in the description. Everything else will be in the description. The person who showed me this on Reddit will be in the description. So make sure you check this out and go have a good World Cup out there. All right, peace out, y'all.